This is long overdue, but whatever. I've been having a lot of computer problems which I've mostly overcome. I've just emailed about XSplit, a little problem with that thing. Slow as fuck, but anyway, here we are. So, what, 2 weeks later? Can't even remember. But anyway, okay, so I'll just read for a bit from here, then I'll go back for the context because I can't remember at this point. Because we have to honor God. Our relationship with Him entails the perfection of our character. Why? And define perfection, because I would say that sin can't happen because God created Adam and Eve, which would mean that because God is only capable of good or incapable of evil, however you'd want to put that, Adam and Eve would be they wouldn't be able to choose against God because they were created perfectly by God, which is not a refutation of free will, but a refutation of either God creating evil, providing Adam and Eve a way to choose against Him, but also Adam and Eve being able to choose against Him. If you understand that, which I'm sure you do, but you would say you don't, just to be a disingenuous jackass. But anyway, so okay, 8 replies, which is good. Wait a minute. What? That's the second time this has happened. I don't know. Who cares? Okay, so what are his teachings and how are they good? Loving God is love. Okay, so I'm not going to bother with him for now. Where are you again? What? What happened? Oh, it fucking disappeared. What? I don't know what happened to it. But anyway, I'll have to just... Okay, what's the content? Christ's teachings are so simple yet so difficult. I can't really... Okay, I'll just use this as the main context. Because I don't know what unless... Well, it wasn't showing. Well, anyway, okay. Because we have to honor God. Why do we have to honor God? Why do you want to honor God? Define honor. How is God honored? Our relationship with Him entails the perfection of our character. I've already told you to define perfect, but yeah, I can't really do anything with that until you give me a definition of perfection. I guess maybe in divine terms, I don't know. If we deny this possibility, then we deny God's purpose for us on earth. Okay. Why do you approve of God's purpose for you, and how is God's purpose for you good? As far as I'm concerned, you guys insist that the gospel of Jesus Christ is the truth, which is what gospel means, but, well, okay, that comes at the expense of people, because you're taking God over people, because God's truth is the dehumanization of people. We're all sinners and so on. We're all broken, bad, whatever the fuck, and we all deserve hell, and we all must accept Jesus Christ and get saved by God in order to go to heaven, or we suffer in hell for eternity. And you guys, this gospel requires that you guys preach it, everyone, and you won't stop because you can say that you don't agree. It's not because you agree, it's because it's the truth, meaning, which is just a bad argument or a bad answer, because you can reject it, but you don't. You instead want to accept it Again, at the expense of people, because a lot of people are offended by that quote-unquote gospel, but you don't care. So you're accepting it instead of rejecting it, while you don't care that it bothers people, while God's gospel is just garbage because it's pure dehumanization. You may see how many unholy people rebellion. Okay, rebellion. You could say that we're rebellious against God. Well, why do you accept God under that premise? That you're saying that you're criticizing us for rebelling in our hearts and their whatever that means, and their actions. What? And they say, I believe what I believe, I do what I want. Why is that a bad thing? Why is doing what you want a bad thing? I could ask you, you would say that you want to obey God and have faith in God and such. So is it really a matter of what we want? While also you guys would often say that, well, we just want to behave badly, which is what you guys would synonymize sin with. Behaving, or criminal behaviors, or immoral behaviors, harmful behaviors, whatever, while premarital sex is a big sin, a big no-no according to the Bible. But that's not harmless. You guys associate sin with harmful behaviors for some reason, or crimes like rape and murder. It's not really even a fallacy, it's dishonest. I mean, you guys know better. Well, disingenuous, I guess. They end up slandering God or mocking him. Okay, so you're whining about us slandering. How is anyone slandering God or mocking him? What do you mean? Are you saying that God isn't a tyrant? Are you saying that God isn't an asshole or whatever? Okay, so what do you consider being condemned to hell? You know, how are they slandering God or mocking? Why does mockery bother you? Even if he is, you're saying an all-powerful God could really be mocked or bothered by slander. Not that anybody is. That's just what you were saying. Speaking and putting myself in your shoes, assuming your belief, your position to say that. Sadly, because such people are often given to a reprobate mind. Says who? You? The Bible? How is atheism reprobation? Why does that bother you? Why does that bother God? Define reprobate. Why is not seeking God reprobation? Why is that bad? Why does that bother you? I mean, you could say it's an offense to God, but you're the one complaining. You're the one criticizing reprobation here, and you're accusing people of slandering and mocking him. So this is all you, not God. But for those who do sincerely seek God, there are the conditions given to. Why do you agree with conditions? Why does God need conditions? What? So, okay, so Psalm 4. Why are you throwing the Bible at me? Okay, the fool has said in his heart, there is no. Okay, fair enough, we're fools. We don't care. I mean, I could say the same about you. You believe there is a God, so therefore you're a fucking fool. What would you say to that? And even if this religion is the truth, the gospel is actual, a reality, I'd rather go to hell and suffer in eternity with people like you and God. How does that make you feel? They are corrupt. How are they corrupt? See, you're reading all the. Well, you just send them to me. Obviously, you've read them. You don't question these things. You're not supposed to question God. Well, why not? And why do you agree with that premise? Why do you agree with that rule? Why do you agree with the Bible? I'm not going to bother reading all of it through that shit. I could do it. Well, I'll tell you what. If you reply with more nonsense, then I'm going to go over these and break them all down. Okay, now going back over just before I call this a video, what was my reply? Fuck it, I'll just go to the video. Okay, this isn't going to show in the screen cap, but I'm going to do this anyway. Okay, so pause that. There's only 8 replies here, it's no big deal. What are his teachings and how are they good? That's ripe toasts, which this is not. I guess maybe I didn't. Oh, unless I replied to him, but it was deleted on me. Yeah, you're not in here for some reason. Now, I'm guessing you're replying to what are his teachings and how are they good. Now, I'll open another tab here. Because we have to honor God in our relationship with... Okay, so... Now, what was my question again? What are his teachings and how are they good? This is the only reply I have to under the fig trees, so this is recent. This was just earlier today. Yeah, so that must be what you're replying to. So you're not answering my question. You're just preaching. So, and then you throw Bible quotes at me. You know I'm not religious, or I could be of another religion, you don't know that. Well, of course the unholiness within should tell you that I'm not religious. But you throw the Bible at me anyway, because you're a fucking jackass. So, yeah, I guess that's all I can really... Well, there's a lot more I could say, but I'm not going to. Alright.